This movie does a really good job of kind of grabbing the Tales tone.
Yeah.
And morphing it into a feature length really, really well.
Oh yeah.
Like when you watch it, it literally looks like they shot like an extended episode.
Yeah.
It's kind of eerie how like good it is as far as that goes. A lot of great performances, a lot of campiness. That's the thing is with these, you have to kind of take it for what it is. It's nothing more than a midnight movie. You know what I mean? But it does that really well, at least in my opinion. But so both of you guys haven't seen it yet, or you hadn't seen it until we watched it right now tonight. So what do you think?
You want to take it first?
Yeah. It was kind of refreshing because I haven't seen Tales from the Crypt in like forever, and I totally forget how Tales of the Crypt was back in the day, but it kind of brought a little bit of nostalgia to me. Of course, it was how Tales of the Crypt are. They're very they have some funny moments in there and shit, and I think Billy Zane. This movie just fucking, like you said, you were telling me, you're like, Billy Zane kind of makes this movie kind of, what was your exact words? I forget.
Billy Zane makes this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel,
and I totally have to agree with you on that one. It was exactly what I thought, and just a long episode of Tales of the Crypt.
Yeah.
So.
Well, for me, it was really a fun throwback.
Okay.
Kind of, you really do get that throwback feeling, I guess, like from watching this type of stuff when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like, oh man, I don't know. For me, I feel like it's like silly horror.
Yeah.
So, it works for what it is. I mean, Tales from the Crypt is. They don't take themselves very serious. I think at times.
Yeah, there's a few that get very dark and kind of grim, but they have this kind of slapsticky.
There's like a comedic feel to some of their a lot of their stuff.
And I think that's because most of them are adapted. The episodes are how do you say, like, adapted from the EC comics, directly.
Yeah, like page from page.
Yeah, they're just kind of adapting them to the screen. And so, not to spoil a Swan fact, but this one was not.
Oh, okay.
This was a spec script that was supposed to be just a standalone movie by itself, and it kind of got passed over, and it finally landed on the desk of Joel Silver, I think, and Universal, and they're like, hey, let's kick off the trilogy with this because it's really good. And so, rewrites happen and certain things, and that's why I think it's so much more impressive how it feels like it was always meant to be Tales from the Crypt. You know what I mean? Even down to the name, Demon Knight with a K.
Yeah.
It's just, it's nuts. And the way that they kind of use the imagery of the comics and kind of like certain, lining up shots a certain way and stuff. It was just really done well, in the vein of kind of like Sam Raimi or somebody like that. I would think. Yeah.
I really do have to give it to Billy Zane. For I don't know, like how you said in the beginning before this even started, like he makes this movie, and I don't know what it is about him in this movie. He was damn good. I think he was that like sly talking comedic when his jokes landed when he said them, they were like on point, perfect. And he's like that slick talking demon that was kind of telling jokes as he was trying to, sign your soul away, basically.
and you don't even really, you only see him until the very end he reveals what he actually looks like, but you never see him in a real monster form. But he's still kind of brooding, and you're I don't want to say scared, but you don't really know what to make of him. Because he's got all this badassery going on, but then he's a shit talker, but he's kind of funny, like you kind of like him, and then you feel bad about that, and then there's all these emotions that are going into it. But I just think that he did a really good performance for everyone else to bounce off of. You know, like Breaker's so much better because of Zane's performance in or Sadler. I feel like that he kind of he's like the gum that kind of everybody sticks to and kind of completes the story in a way.
I like his little, what were they, like dreams, like daydreams of everyone he was trying to convince. How during, what's his name, Uncle Willie? When he's the bartender, he has the hat and the little cigar, and he's making a drink for him. And then I don't know, I thought it was just really, his little characters in this were awesome.
I love the beginning of this movie where it's the
when they do the mock movie.
The mock movie. And then you see the director, and it's a keeper. And he's like, cut, this is not how you fucking do it, blah blah.
That was the perfect opening to the movie, because it's like it lets you know what you're getting yourself into, and they're like, haha, we got you. Like, you thought it was going to be some cheesy shit, but this isn't the real movie. It's great.
And and I love it still kept the whole feel like it's Tales of the Crypt, but it's a motion picture. So I mean, that's what I think differentiates the show from the full length, which is like it gives a new feel to it. It's still like I said, an extended episode, but it does that scene alone just gives it a new take on it, and the whole, like, he's going to Hollywood and he makes it known, but it totally felt like it was in 1990. I totally felt like I was in 1995 again watching this shit. So.
Yeah, definitely.
The soundtrack.
Yes.
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I really love when they break into the actual story, they open it up with the comic book like always, but filters, "Hey man, nice shot" comes on that crazy bass line. Great opening.
And it was fun, dude. I mean, fuck, like it was and it totally takes off like how we were at that stage of horror movies or whatever, and so I loved it. I give it 87. 7, just only because I don't think it ages well. But at the same time, like I was just like looking at the movie, and I was kind of thinking about the graphics at like how hard it might have been to fucking do this shit, and I'm just like astonished as it is. Some of those stuff you can't even do in a low budget movie, you know. So it's cool. I mean, to see this and it kind of reminded me, brought me the nostalgia and shit when I used to watch Tales from the Crypt.
It's funny thinking back. I used to be so scared to watch Tales of the Crypt because it was just, I don't know, being a kid. But looking back at it now, it's like this isn't like really scary at all. It's just you know, like horror or monster undertones, or you know, throughout the whole thing, but with those comedic, like how you said, slapstick jokes throughout it. And I don't know, it really is a fun movie to watch. I mean, any Tales from the Crypt stuff is fun to watch, I think.
Yeah,
it's a good time, and it really does bring you back a lot of crazy memories.
I wanted to talk about, since you brought up the special effects. So this movie had the budget of $13 million, I think, which isn't too I mean, it's on the lower scale, but for a horror movie, that works. You can do some stuff with that.
Yeah.
And I really liked the practical stuff, like the
punch through the face.
Oh yeah,
was awesome.
Yeah.
That was probably like my best.
That's probably the best kill.
Yeah, that was awesome.
But the what do you call it? Like the monster practical suits.
Oh yeah,
those are great, and those still hold up.
Yeah,
yeah. We still have those those Game of Thrones, bro.
Yeah,
we still have the shit Game of Thrones, like literally, and that's why I said like it's so difficult.
White Walkers and shit.
Yeah.
It's so difficult for. I mean, being in the film industry and shit, so difficult to fucking. Create those effects, and shout out to all the graphic designers that do all this stuff, man, because they really do a good job. Certain movies, I won't say all, certain movies, but
I wish, like, certain things I could see why you say a 7 because of like when they shoot the eyes, and things like that, and then as much as I love it, the drops of blood on the seal could have looked a little better. Even though that is probably one of the more iconic things about that movie, because that's them like the only weapon that they really have
to save themselves.
There's just a few things that kind of look it's because they mix practical with CGI, and back then the CGI
it was a little harder.
You can kind of tell what holds up and what doesn't. But with that being said, I think it's still a fun ride.
Yeah.
What would you rate this?
I'll go with an 8, even though I'm probably being biased because it's
it's your movie.
Yeah, when I watched it. But yeah, I think it's silly and it's not taking itself too seriously, but it's effective. It's got a great cast.
The cast is a patch.
Yeah, with people.
Yes,
it's great that are relevant right now. But yeah, I think an 8.
A favorite scene.
That
you could pick from.
Hands down, when the cops figure out that the collector or Billy Zane isn't who he says he is, and they're like, you're coming down to the station with us too. And so he gets mad and he kills one of them and then jumps out the window, and and then he kind of reveals himself like, I'm done with this cowboy shit. You bunch of whole bunk motherfuckers. The way that he delivers
that was such a clean line.
It's so amazing.
It's like what I feel is like one of the funniest parts of the whole movie. Out of because he said some funny shit during the movie, but that was like the funniest fucking shit I saw in this movie.
That like you said, it still hits today. Like,
that made us all pop. We're just fucking.
Like, I feel like probably almost all of the episodes or even the movies still like the jokes and lines from these movies and shows, they still hit. I feel like the jokes will even still be relevant now.
I would kind of chalk that up to it being on HBO, and they really had because HBO doesn't have really, they don't have to they don't have to follow any rules. And that's why Tales from the Crypt, when we would watch them as younger individuals, they would show nudity and and the language was crazy, and then the violence was there too. So it was very kind of risque, especially for that time, and that's and then when we would watch it on, of course, basic cable, they would edit a lot of stuff out, and then you don't get to see it. But I remember seeing a lot of stuff on I don't know, we must have had HBO when I was younger, but when I lived with my real parents. But yeah, I remember seeing a bunch of stuff and I was just like, this is nuts. And that's why I think that you would be kind of scared, because it's showing you all of these things that you probably weren't exposed to yet. And with that being said, I think that's why a lot of those episodes still kind of ring true today.
Mm-hmm.
Because a few years ago I was going through and watching them all in chronological order.
Yeah.
And I was still having just as much fun. Like,
yeah.
There wasn't one that I was like, oh, that was lame, you know?
Yeah.
You go back and you